Hi everyone, it's Fitz with the Daily Delivery. Hope you're doing well. I am nifty. That's the word I'm going with today. Hey, make sure you're subscribing to this YouTube channel. Go ahead and click subscribe. Doesn't cost you a dime. Hey, and while you're out there on the www, maybe go check out the PowerCat podcast. It's like this, but with no pictures. That's what a podcast is. And also a lot more talking. The PowerCat podcast. Go ahead and subscribe at your favorite podcast provider. Let's get going with this DD as Brett Yormark continues his tour and his sales pitch for the future of the Big 12. It's a big weekend in Big 12 football. As you know, Oklahoma State's at K-State. There's other big games around the conference, but there's one game that isn't a Big 12 game that I am very interested in, and it will be a Big 12 game in 2023 and on. It's Cincinnati at Central Florida, and Brett Yormark is there in Orlando to watch this game as he makes a campus visit to UCF. It's going to be a really tight game like everything else in the Big 12. And Brett Yormark has been on the record this week saying he is going to be very transparent. He is not going to be clandestine out there trying to steal schools from other conferences. He will absolutely telegraph his intentions, and his intentions are to try to find schools that are, quote, additive to the Big 12. It's very clear he wants to expand. In fact, he points out in these press conferences that in the latest Big 12 expansion, bringing on UCF, Houston, Cincinnati, and BYU, the Big 12 went from a footprint of 40 million people to 75 million people. And he wants the Big 12 to be a national conference. And what that tells me is pretty clear. He's not done expanding. He just needs to find the right candidates. And maybe the right candidates will all be out west. Maybe they'll be Pac-12 schools, or maybe they won't. You see, he's using measurements that we don't understand, and he's dealing with the TV networks to figure out what does work best for the Big 12 and for them. Maybe it will be teams out of the Mountain West, and maybe it will be teams out of the Pac-12. And maybe he'll even add someone out east. He wants to be coast to coast, and he's made it very clear that he wants the Big 12 to raise its value in the national media market. And what that means is he wants to have games, football games, every week in that valued fourth window that right now, in terms of Power 5, only the Pac-12 can fill. But he wants to be in on those late night Big 12 games. Just go check out the ratings of Baylor at BYU earlier this year, and you quickly understand the value of adding one more time slot to the media rights package for this conference.